Hey everybody! As you may remember, a couple days ago this organization here decided to put my picture up as an example of the kind of people who join them. They have since taken it down, which is very good of them. Unfortunately, they are crazy, which is very bad of them, and since they got onto my radar here, I'm gonna make a video about them. So let's learn about them. What I know about them so far is that they claim to not be racist. They are race realists, which is another way of saying racist. It's a way of admitting racism while also denying racism, actually. So there might be a few little jump cuts because I have a cold right now still. It's going away, but I've been clearing my throat very loudly a lot, so I'll cut those out, but there will be jump cuts. Okay, let's see. They seem very fanatical, really, here. They got, let's read this. Are you sick of the state of our country? It's British, so I'm not really sick of the state of their country. Are you fed up with lying politicians? You see, that's, I'm not really fed up. Fed up means, I guess, you're ready to start doing something about it. And, I mean, yeah, politicians lie. That's sort of their job. And I'm not saying they should lie, but I'm not really about to do anything about it. So, no, I'm not really fed up with lying politicians. I don't like them, but I don't really care. Join the resistance. They sound kind of like a militant group here. Help save Britain. Nah. Let the British do that. Time is running out. Oh no, better do it now. Act now. Act no. Wow, I was kidding. Guys. I was saying something ridiculous as a joke, and then they go and say it seriously. Anyway, will you act now? Wow, they said it twice. You gonna say it a third time? This is the only way. Ah, even worse. Now they sound religious. And the first thing I heard about them from that monkey guy was that they are a religious group. Hey, I'm not done with this slide yet. I haven't seen anything religious on their page yet, but I haven't really explored it much. I figured I'd save that for this video. Yeah. Let's see. I joined the National British Resistance because I was sick of feeling like a second-class citizen in my own country. I feel it is my duty to serve our people and provide a future for my children and their children. Britain has become a cesspit of multicultural evil, also known as people of other races and with different cultures than your own, and left-wing perversion. Now, perversion could mean sexual perversion, or it could just be more of a general sort of things I don't agree with perversion. The term is used for pretty interchangeably for both of those things. It's about time that Britain had a movement that stood up for the people. Well, for the hateful, evil, racist people, yes. I am a single mother and worry about the future for my children. Yeah, you don't want them to get involved with minorities. Ooh, that would be just terrible. It is clear that the government no longer cares about single parents and has abandoned us as a people. Single parents are a people now. Resistance is the only option to reclaim our country. And resistance how? Hopefully maybe this website will tell us what they mean by resistance. I was recently made unemployed from my job in a factory. Do you mean fired? No, made unemployed. I was turned into someone who is no longer employed. Magically. By a wizard. Why do factories let wizards come in? Ah! The owners decided to replace myself and others with cheap labor brought in from Poland. Oh, Poland. Okay, so they're racist against other white people. That's very interesting. Oh, that's one thing I've found out from my brief explorings on this website, they like white people, and specifically British white people. So they really specialize. Enough is enough with a capital E on this enough. That's weird. The only solution to fixing the problems in our country is through resistance. So, is fixing the problems a problem that requires a solution? I know this guy didn't mean to say that, but he is a terrible writer. Why do they have his testimony on their website? It makes them really sound stupid. Let's see. Party structure. Oh, manifesto. Let's read their manifesto. And then we'll read their 18-point plan. Oh, they just launched a new app for Android. Oh, you want to get the app? No. Why would I want that? Oh, wait. A manifesto is usually pretty long, so I don't want to read this whole thing, but let's read, I guess, some of it. An introduction from the leader. Comrade. Let me first begin by welcoming you to our gallant movement. Resistance is the duty of every man, woman, and child in this nation, and through nationalist unity, courage, and principle, we shall together stand defiant in the face of tyranny and reclaim our nation for the future generation of Britishers to come. Oh, is that what you call a British person? A Britisher? Resistance is the duty, he says. He still hasn't expanded on what that actually means. I founded the NBR as a people's movement. So basically, I guess it sounds a little bit like socialism or communism, except he's not talking about starting a government. But he is sort of talking about overthrowing the government. So it is a bit communist-flavored. Founded the NBR movement as a people's movement, a voice to land an impact in Britain with strong political ambitions to form a party in the near future. Okay, never mind what I said about not seeking political power. This is very much like communism, like communists. If you're a patriot and you care for your country, your children, and the future hopes of a nation, then you've come to the right place. Let us together stand in both blood and glory. Blood and glory capitalized. So, a specific sort of blood and glory, I think he means, not actually going out and killing people, but something that is called blood and glory. Oh, how long is this thing anyway? Oh, it's got a few, what is the NBR? Okay, that's what we want to know. It is time to take nationalism with a capital N forward in the United Kingdom with a capital U and K. Oh, wait, that one makes sense. We are a visionary movement, not single-issue movement or a corrupted Zionist so-called right-wing lobbying group. Okay, so they don't like Jews either. Not surprising. Racists don't tend to like Jews very much. The National British Resistance has a solid plan of action for Britain to which we seek to remodel our country on true nationalist principle. So he's really, really about nationalism, or National Socialism. They're Nazis. It's time the white British people of this country came first, and we recognize that as original Anglo-Saxon settlers, we are the indigenous race occupying these lands. They're not 100% wrong there, but they are 99.9% wrong there. I mean, indigenous race? Come on, I mean, humans. It is not racist to be proud of your race. It kind of is, actually. It's not racist to celebrate your culture, history, and traditions. Well, no, but that's not all you're doing. We are an intelligent... You know when someone describes themselves as intelligent that, well, they're not always wrong, but, anyway. Forward-thinking nationalist movement with a set agenda for the future of Britain. And a racist agenda. Unlike other groups, we will not beg or demand for money. We only demand your loyalty and complete dedication to our cause for a change that you can believe in. No. Let's not compare them to Obama. Led by our founder and leader, Joshua Boneham. Alright, I think that cut out there for a second. But anyway, let's... led by our founder leader, they strive to bring nationalism into the 21st century. Well, it was in the 20th century, in the 30s and 40s. Hitler. Immigration. We have a strong policy on immigration. I wonder if they're for immigration or against it. To ensure overcrowding is ended, multiculturalism is finished, and British-born people are always put first when at sea. Ohms to employment. If we do not implement strict policy, then our country will be completely unrecognizable. In other words, there will be too many non-white people. And the national identity will be permanently lost. Now, it's funny that they even used my picture for this website. I'm not British, as you can tell from the way I talk. I mean, by ancestry, yes, I am. I have ancestors from Britain, but I have ancestors from Germany, France, Canada, all over. So, yeah, I'm not strictly British. And even British people are not strictly British. Most, if not all people, have a little bit of African ancestry. If you go back enough, we all come from Africa. But they probably don't believe that. All immigrants will be immediately expelled from the United Kingdom. Only white immigrants from Nordic backgrounds shall be allowed to enter our country. Okay, so they'd probably be okay with me staying. But wait, he said all immigrants. Oh, wait, okay. So white immigrants from Nordic backgrounds will be expelled immediately as per this, but they could come back if... Yeah, they could come back. Illegal immigrants risk death upon entering our country. That's a little... That's extreme. That's the first time they get a bit out of hand here. We do not have the money or resources to spend on shipping them back home. Death is the only option. So you have the resources to kill them? Healthcare. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. All immigrants and third world NHS staff would be removed from our hospitals. Wow, so they want to understaff their hospitals? We would replace them with fully trained and qualified British citizens. We would create state-owned asylums for people who suffer from mental illness. These people should not be allowed to be kept in public. It is both cruel and inhumane. Okay, well that's not so bad actually, as long as the asylums are good places. Abuse of NHS staff would result in arrests being made to those who are guilty in doing so. That is the worst sentence. Would result in arrests being made to those who are guilty in doing so. No wonder they put that one thing on their front page, that one person's testimonial. They probably think his writing was good. Anyway, let's see. Justice. Life will mean life. There will be no half sentences and no applications for reductions. Oh, I guess they mean life in prison. As in, if you get life in prison, you'll get let out. Okay, then. We will see the return of the death sentence. Yeah, they're very pro-killing people. What about the killing? What about the death sentence for white British people? Police officers will be allowed to carry firearms to protect themselves and the public. They already are, aren't they? Are they not allowed that in Britain? I don't know. The crime of pedophilia will result in a mandatory death sentence. Yeah, because they're not people. They have no rights at all. I know that's a controversial thing to say, and I'll probably get some comments about that, but I disagree with them on that one. Now, if you do agree with them on that point, realize that this means you have something in common with the National British Resistance. Let that sink in. Economy. All companies working in the public interest shall return to public ownership. Oh, yeah. Total communism there. Or socialism, I should say. We will raise minimum wage to $7.90 an hour, but you'll have to stand in line for everything, for toilet paper, for potatoes. And if you don't need what they're handing out that day, well, you're just out of luck. Anyway, that's not what it says here. I'm just saying that. Britain shall default on all of its debt. We do not recognize Zionist-generated debt. Jew debt. All banks shall be closed in favor of a singular public-owned bank. But he said all banks shall be closed. Contradiction within the very sentence. Defense, spelled the British way with a C-E. We will rebuild the British Army and double the regular army in size. We will restore Britain's historic regiments. We will double the Navy in size, thus placing the Royal Navy back on the map in terms of sea dominance. Sea dominance, what is that? Are they basically going to start World War III? It looks like they want to start World War III. Let's see. Constitution, 18-point plan. That's what we're gonna look at. We, the common people of Great Britain, demand that our nation is returned to us. We demand that the national interests are put first instead of the filthy foreign agendas that looms over the current cabinet. That's a run-on sentence. That should be a semicolon. Anyway, or just a new sentence. We demand that only those who are our fellow countrymen can become citizens. The right of citizenship should be for British-born individuals only. What about British-born black people? There are lots of them. We demand an end to immigration, foreign aid, and pointless wars in the Middle East. But they want to start pointless wars elsewhere. We demand an end to Islamic extremism and the full arrest and detainment of all hate preachers that work daily to destroy our country using the government as their tool. Yeah, I'm guessing they probably want to put an end to all Muslims in the country. Still nothing advocating religion, though, just anti-Islam stuff. We demand... oh, and anti-Jew stuff, so maybe they're Catholic? We demand that the state shall, above all, undertake to ensure that every citizen shall have the possibility of living decently and earn a livelihood, which in turn shall signal an end to the culture of greed and individual good. End the culture of individual good? And you think that's a good thing? So you're gonna, what, force companies to pay their employees a certain amount? I guess that's what minimum wage is. Never mind, I'm not going to bother arguing against that one. We demand that all Zionist-owned banks, that they think the banks are owned by the Jews, are immediately banned from Britain. All Zionist supermarkets are shut and replaced with better British alternatives. The British are not known for their cuisine. We demand that our race is respected. How can you force that? And that we as white people do not face prejudice because the color of our skin is white. You don't face prejudice. Not really. We demand that common good is placed before individual good. Communities will work together, and those who are seen to commit antisocial atrocities are ousted from society. Yeah, I think a lot of individuals would probably fight you on that. We demand that pedophiles, murderers, and those who will commit horrific crimes against our society... How do you know who will commit horrific crimes? Face the death penalty and swing for their crimes. So hanging. We demand that all citizens are treated as equals and carry equal rights in the community. As one British folk united in nationalist spirit and glory, an end to the class system and placement of the British class, a single fair and stable class, except, of course, for the rulers, who will have extra rights. We demand that those who work daily to sustain the country are appreciated and honored, given a fair pension, and are put before those who choose not to work. And they decide who's choosing not to work and who's unable to. We demand an end to the benefits culture, the full restoration of national service, or a community programme to which local communities are the key beneficiaries. Whatever. We demand an end to same-sex marriage. Oh, here we go. Here's the first quasi-religious thing they put in. And that the sanctimony of marriage between a man and a woman is respected. It can still be respected with same-sex marriage being legal. Let's see. We demand the full nationalization of public trusts and institutions that work directly for the people of this country, thus establishing a common trust between the general public and the government. Yeah, oh, there we go. Yeah, they want to establish that the people can trust the government. They want for the people not to question their government, basically. We demand that political correctness is fully removed from society. Oh, no more empathy, basically, is what they're saying. And the current equality bill is sacked and replaced with a fair and non-discriminatory alternative. I don't know what the current equality bill is, but whatever. We demand that all unions are abolished and replaced with a singular union to which benefits the people, well, they mean the government, instead of the political agenda that can be so clearly seen in trade unions of today. One union for one people. We demand an end to cultural feminism and the unnatural agenda that preaches women are allowed to carry out the duties of men. What are the duties of men? Feminism is bad for society and marks a decline in sovereignty. Oh yeah, these people are religious. We demand profit sharing in large industries and corporations. They do that. It's called a salary, or a wage. We demand a referendum on Britain's position within the EU. The people deserve to have a chance in deciding the future of Britain, and an immediate referendum has been called by the people. Not 5 years, not 2 years. We need referendum now. Whatever. Okay, that's probably long enough for this video. Maybe I'll make another one later, exploring this organization a bit more. See you next time.